A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live session on a Sunday morning. My name is Shilpi. I'm the Relationship Manager with the Global Education and Training Institute. So, welcome to this live session of GETI Talk. And what are we going to talk about? Of course, we are going to talk about education, but in what sense? There has been, always it has been said that spare the rod, spoil the child. But then this philosophy was taken out from education long back, but in the name of punishment, still there is something which pertains, and that is detention. So, this is the topic that Mr. Naveen Kumar A, who is the Dean of RK Group of Institutes in Telangana, that is Kamar Reddy in Telangana, and he is going to talk about that. Actually, is detention a kind of a policy which can bring about discipline in students? Yes, because we believe that if a child has not done his homework, we cannot have corporal punishments. That is also illegal now. So, what is the only way left to make him realize that he has to be disciplined? And this is what most of the schools follow: detaining the student after school, making him stay back and do the homework or classwork. So, this is what he's going to talk about. So, Mr. Reddy, please, you can enlighten us on this.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So welcome to the session of GETI Global Education and Training Institute. So good morning, Dr. Sunita Gandhi, madam, who is established, and good morning, Shilpi ma'am, and good morning, everyone. So today's topic is detention effective in disciplining students? Generally, the main goal of education is to make the students ready for the next generation. Generally, the basic foundation of the education is to increase the understanding power of a student. But actually, unfortunately, the competitive era made the students to learn to butterfly and to make the world to become a job oriented or to earn the money. So that in this rush environment, every student is under pressure actually. Pressure from the peer group, pressure from the parents, pressure from the teachers, pressure from society, and pressure from the social media in this generation. Because generally it's common tendency of every student, every child, to compare himself to surroundings. Generally, by the nature in the teenage, a student or child gets discomfort by seeing the greater things surrounded by him. Generally, the pressure from outside also makes him suppressed. So that's why, dear all the members, we have to understand the main motto of a student to reach his goal is there in the hands of parents and teachers. These things everyone know, but how far is implemented? Generally, there is a system called detention. Detention has two meanings in two different levels. In the school levels, detention means giving extra work or extra punishment of thing to the student, to the child, so that he's improved. Second, detention is at university level, where a particular student is supposed to pass a particular number of subjects, he's not promoted to the next year. Whatever the thing may be, detention is a kind of punishment. So, before implementing detention, so what actually methods to take is very important for the teachers, for the administrators, as well as the parents. So that it's a very important thing we have to take care. Generally, the world phenomenon changes each day because everything is rapidly growing. Even sometimes it goes negative, also like this COVID pandemic time. Whatever the situation may be, we have to inculcate a child to understand the environment. Then only he can be fit, he can be very careful, and he can take steps towards his progress. Otherwise, everything will stop. So it's a common goal of especially a teacher, because parent today's environment, a parent can take care only a little because they may be busy, and most of the parents may be aware and they have handled different situations, and they may not be very competitive in this world. So teacher's role is very essential. The ultimate goal is making a student or child developed. For example, if you take a scenario, a student is in homework yesterday, and almost everybody did it, and one or two definitely skip, And what the thing is by teacher? So they will definitely say right imposition. So stay back in the school after school hours. Some teachers will say because the school is getting completed at 5 o'clock p.m. means the teacher may ask the child to stay up to 5:30 or 6 o'clock. So what is the goal? So that at least the student will get interested and they will complete. Okay, it's very fine. The goal may be okay, but how far you have counseled him, motivated him that staying for half an hour more will give him so enough strength for next day, for next future. Instead of doing that, just simply shouting on them or giving a strict punishment, stay back here, do it means it may not work. Even sometimes a child gets disappointed and gets his level down also, and may lose interest towards studies and teachers and education system also. So it is very essential for every teacher because it is the future of the child and future of the nation also. So every child is unique in this world. Each one has its own skills, interests, and goals. So without understanding, without concerning their internal meaning and their understanding levels, if you go on treating everyone in the same level and go on giving the same type of thing to everyone, that may lead to a very problematic condition. Generally, each student has his own views. So we have to understand clearly what a child belongs to and the reason behind are doing or not completing anything. For example, they may get less marks, they may not have interested in that, so they may lose interest. And even sometimes, most of the times, the way the teacher teaches may not be understood and got into easily by everybody. So that the problem is not with the student always, the problem may be with several other things. And really sometimes the student may be facing health problems, understanding problems, eyesight problems also. They don't know that. They have been watching towards the blackboard and simply they write one or two sentences and the period completes and the teacher drops away. And they don't know what actually is happening. And next day or next day if you see, so it is incomplete. So there are multiple factors. So that's why teacher is not ordinary person. Teacher, especially in primary and high school level, is a god of student. Next to the God, next to the parents, that's why teacher is given a main role. Teaching the subject is only a little, that is only a 50%. Other 50% deal one. So while implementing the detention means giving such kind of punishment things in order to improve the child, that should be taken care. We have to counsel, understand the situation. Listening is very important. What actually the students in understanding level, what is he doing? Then properly speaking to the parent what actually happening. Then just if you do it slowly, if you do incomplete like this, you may lag behind so that you may not compete with future children. Why these wanting? Definitely they will listen. May not be today, maybe tomorrow, may after 2 days after, but definitely they will listen. Without concerning this, I have also observed, and we also know sometimes some teachers very strict and very important in their subject areas will not allow the child to go for even PE periods, post time also. They stop the child in the classroom to do complete. You are not. No. Here, two things play vital important role. One is the intellect, other is the mind, the heart. So the each child is unique in understanding the level of the subject, but each child has a heart. He understands the way we speak, the way we look at him, all matters. So the kind of words what we use, the way we see, the way we treat him will make him suppressed, depressed also. So that it is very essential for every parent and teacher of the concerned school. These are the things which are very essential. The subject is only a part. Other all the things matter. That's why detention in a proper way means taking care of the teacher, sitting beside him, understanding him, and listening to the problems of the child, then motivating him, counseling him, then giving a suggestions to complete may definitely work out. Without doing all the things, yes, you are not doing very well, simply say do it. You're not allowed to do this. You're not entitled to play games outside. If these kind of matters we go on, very definitely these people will not only run away from the school, in the future they will become very dangerous persons also. So So the education's ultimate goal is giving values, very important. Human benefit, each student may become what in the future. So, but they have to become wonderful gentlemen and ladies and wonderful human beings first. That's why I request every teacher, every parent, and every society member take care of the children. For example, if you want to keep a nation or world to be a good level things, so that every youth needs to be under control, then only the thing is at the primary and high school level of education only. If you go on giving like these things, principals and administrators and the institutes are there to observe all the things what is happening. Sometimes what really happens is a teacher who is allotted even 5 6 periods will be busy conducting examinations and taking care of them and correcting the notes, giving feedback to the parent, and also looking after their families. Maybe sometimes under pressure, they may not take care of every child and they may impose detention system like this in schools. So it is the responsibility of administrator and the principal especially and vice principals, all those fellows, to understand what is happening, how teachers doing. And weekend or monthly, we have to arrange sessions and we have to train and upgrade the teachers so that they are on par. Because in 21st century, it is era, so internet of things, so everything is changed. But actually, we are teaching the old methods. So luckily, we are teaching online today because this of pandemic. But generally, what is happening? The system we follow, the principles we have, the syllabus are all outdated actually. And we are teaching a child who is getting ready for next 10 years, and we have to fulfill the bridge, the gap between the past and the future. These all things will happen only if proper guidelines, training sessions are given to the teachers as well as to the parents also in time. Because they have to understand the child's mentality, the condition of their understanding personally, and then have to bring it out to the management or principals of this. So detention, because here we have to say detention is not good, no. Because what happens is whenever there is a fear of punishment in anybody, then only we can go in a systematic way. For example, even though this corona pandemic is spreading like anything, if some people are following some rules now, at least that's controlling. If everybody follows, there is no problem at all. The thing is, what happens to me? What is my only responsibility? Like this, everybody feels. But if there is a strict lockdown, strict curfew, then what happens? They have a fear. If you go out, something may happen. Then definitely it will be under control. Why means there is fear of punishment. The same thing should be there, but that should not deviate the understanding level and deviate the future level of students. So that should be very carefully undertaken. We have to understand the level and we have to take care of every child like our own child. So then only it is possible. Then they can definitely listen. For example, if they have a real problem, yesterday they went, they attended a function. That's why they have not understood and they have not done properly. They have to listen. So, okay, beta, if you want to catch up tomorrow, then you have to cover it now. I'm there to help you. Please sit with me. I will explain you. You complete it. Like this, if a teacher tells, why don't a student listen? Generally, these things, what happens, regularly some students have been habituated. They never do regular homeworks, regular examinations, and regular studies, and they have been habituated for sleep after half an hour, school hours are coming before. Then what happens? Generally, if that person, that boy or girl goes regularly by bus, he misses the bus. Then what only the parent has to pick up. Sometimes parent may not be available, and these children may go out by walking or some other way, and they may not directly to home. And there are plenty of things that may rupture their lives also. These are very thing, everything matters today, so that understanding their level, understanding is very important, so that then we can teach them anything. So that's why we have to make the class into 2 or 3 groups based on their understanding levels. Those are very quick and very sincere. They easily follow you. There's no matter at all. And second and third group levels, sometimes they may not understand if although they try. And simple are there, they will neglect. Please take care of these 2 groups. Make them counseling and motivational sessions. Then only there is positive environment, and then they can grow and they can make their parents, school proud, and the society proud, and the nation definitely grows. There are plenty of opportunities in this world. Generally, the parents have been habituated to making their child a doctor or engineer. Generally, they compare their relatives, neighbors, and those who get good salaries and packages. But please understand, not only the earning and level, but also the satisfying level of the thing is very important. Give them freedom for paying something. So generally, these students nowadays have been habituated for playing only virtual games on mobile, on computer, and watching TV. Generally, they stop playing outside. And even if we restrict them for only a limited room, the room will become a jail for them. No, the classroom, the four walls should give them enlightenment for their life. The only four walls give them like a mother's lap so that they grow like anything, like Buddha enlightened on the tree. Everything is possible for the teacher and the school if we make everything a proper way. If you are in regular contact with the parent, understanding their problem, understanding the psychology of the student and the skill level and the interest of the students, we can train them in such a way that they definitely reach their goal. So they can become scientists tomorrow. Scientists are needed. So only a few are going that side from India nowadays because so that's a long process. They have to study their graduation, post-graduation, doctoral research, postdoctoral research, but nobody is expecting that. So as soon as possible, they complete their graduation, they need to grab their job. They have to earn money. So that's the biggest issue, and expectation is the problem. Expectation is not a problem. The more expectation of your success is very important. So dear parents, please understand. Dear teachers, please understand. An ordinary person can bring miracles in the lives, like our PM. So he came from an utterly low level and he is ruling the world, not only India. So everything is possible when proper guidelines, training sessions are given. So it's India, and definitely it is possible. But nowadays, what we observe is we are putting aside all the values and important things and the psychology aside and going only in the academic part. And that also we are not taking feedback how far it is understood and how far they are ready to grasp it to the next level. So it is the request, and from the parents, several parents, they may not say directly to the teacher because again they may keep some other punishment. So it's important part of the administrators and rulers of the schools and heads to take into consideration the effects, the problems that our students are facing nowadays. And peer pressure is also there. Some students, if they regularly work hard also, so other students may harass them, may tease them so that they keep aside, so that they fell back. So what happens then the teacher and parents understand he is useless, he is doing some other things. So it is also very important whether he is getting deviated by the society and by the peers. So that's why it's not so easy job, but it is possible. So in coming to the university level also, so suppose a student when not detained at all, if everything is promoted, then there is no value. How can we make wonderful citizens for tomorrow who will rule the world and nation? So it's very important. So suspension is very dangerous. So when a student or child does not need to reach the suspension level, at least if they have a fear of punishment, then this detention system with a taken care environment can be implemented very systematic way. Then only everything runs smooth. For example, if a child is not controlled at all, definitely some of the enemies, definitely some of the students and children will never listen to you, and they'll become several problematic citizens for tomorrow. So a little bit of punishment which is not dangerous and which is helpful for the improvement to their level of understanding definitely is welcome. But only in a what trained and taken care environment is very important. And definitely in some schools and institutions, this detention means staying back after school hours is taken care by some non-teaching staff also. They don't know the psychology. They simply they shout. They may give you punishments also. So why are you not doing? Because of your have to wait to you. No, please, you are taking their life into your hands. So that's very important. The time you spend is so. My dear ladies and gentlemen, dear students, and dear parents, please understand the philosophy behind the education system and give them the values, give them the counseling, understand their abilities, and improve their skills. Then only everything is possible. Even in the school days, even in the university levels, everything is easy to achieve. easily taken care only when administrators the vision and mission. There the school differs. Where is the best school? Best school means what? That provides not only best education, but also that provides best value-based education, which takes care of every child. Every child is not intelligent in mathematics, may not be intelligent in science or English, but you have to find out where he is interested in. So you have to give them the tricks, the easy methods to follow, give them the time to understand. So then definitely each child can do miracles in their lives and can definitely rule the world for the next generation. Otherwise, we have to see a generation which we are giving them. These are all useless. No, everything is in our hands in the present situation. Understand the past, they rule the present in a different systematic way, then the future generation will become excellent, extraordinary, and extravagant. Thank you, one and all. So welcome. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Shrigar.
Thank you so much, Naveen, for explaining it in such a lot of detail.
Thanks
Now,
to everyone for being here. Yeah, thank you.
coming to the questions, um, detention. At what level of schooling do you think it is more applicable? You know, is it that since you say catch them young or nip the
Yes,
bud, nip the flaws in the bud itself? So, talking about detention, is it that it should be like it is one of the softest kind of punishment that can be given, right? First of all,
sure.
so is that from the
Yes.
primary or primary level itself it should be started, or that it has to be only at a time when a child can understand what is detention all about?
Yes. Actually, it is important for the primary kids, but generally, what happens in the general phenomenon, a school child who is in primary education, first, second classes, becomes naughty. So, as soon as they're getting adapted for going to school, they start doing naughty things and they will not listen to their parent also. So, that is the time, given at least 5 10 minutes of extra time to be given, to be given. We have to speak in a positive way. And also, we have to say something like, if you don't read, something will happen, and you have to say like that. If you don't say all, they will not listen. So some students definitely they need attention because they are not taken care by parents also, because parents will be busy and they will not listen to the voice. So it is essential from even from 7 8 years also to up to high school level, definitely according to their level of understanding.
Right. And so what can be the constructive way of using this time of detention when the child is waiting back? Is it that just to make him wait back and let him do whatever is he has missed out on or has not done, or it can also be utilized in a very different way?
Yes, there are plenty of ways, because the best way is saying, because a teacher may give some time to him so that the teacher may explain and she may take care, and other times also give them a chance by explaining, okay, yesterday it is not done, I'm giving an opportunity to complete it and come back. You do, you grow, you'll get better opportunities like this. Sometimes they get home also, but even it is repeated, then you may not give. Sometimes they have to say, because teacher or administrator need to really there with the child, so that definitely they can take care of, right?
All right.
But again,
I think there was some
the
net.
sports time also
Can you
actually.
sorry, sir. Can you repeat the answer because there was some network issue on your part where we couldn't hear you very clearly.
One second, one second. So what actually happens most of the times, a child may listen if a proper guidelines are given by the teacher. Some students listen to some teachers, then they follow. So that if probably homework or some issues, they may come personally and can and ask them to do it home. If it is not even at home for some days, then it is essential for the child to stay back for some time and to be taken care by the teacher. Definitely will work out. What happens sometimes, not of children in sports time to ground. It is also the best method. Loves to ground, but 5 to 10 minutes they have to stop, and they will be having a type of fear. Okay, now I have to go. Next time, don't repeat. If this kind of things giving and taking, the definitely is called clutching. Sometimes you have to stop. Sometimes you have to give opportunity for them to grow. So then definitely, by what is emotionally, they will attach to the teacher and they will definitely listen. Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for taking out time being here on a Sunday morning and enlightening us
Thank you,
on this
ma'am.
topic. You're welcome. And for my audience, well, we are starting with our GETI is dedicated to improving and upgrading our teachers. So we are starting with the in-service and pre-service teachers training in May. If you want more information, please call on the number which is coming on the banner below. Thank you so much and have a lovely day, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.